Black Friday is fast approaching, and that means things are going to take a bit of a turn in terms of FC24 Ultimate Team. Player prices will plummet as there's going to be a whole lot of new content. And in today's video, I'm going to be going through exactly what is most likely to happen. But before we do get into the video, if you're looking for some cheap, fast and reliable FC24 coins, then there is no better place than U4GM. To make this even better, they too also have a Black Friday deal offering you 15% off if you use the link in the description down below and if you use code Fanatic at checkout. Thank you U4GM for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back into it. Black Friday is not a new thing. We've had it many years in terms of Ultimate Team, so we know what type of content to expect. EA will release lightning rounds, and if you haven't played a previous Ultimate Team, lightning rounds are very similar to what we have once it rolls around to that 6 PM content. EA normally releases packs, but just imagine that for every single hour. And with these packs, there's a limit, either a time limit or a pack limit. Once that time is up, they're gone, or once they've all been claimed, they're gone. You have to wait until that next hour. This, of course, means that there's going to be a lot of packs, and because there's so many people that go through these packs go out quite quickly. They get used up quite a bit, and that leads to there being loads of players listed onto the transfer market. Mainly those top high rated ones, because those who have experienced this type of content before know that if you're trying to maximize every single coin, even out of the cheapest players, it's not going to take long for you to max out your transfer list. And then once you do finally get some of the more expensive players, you can't really find a place to sell them because it's already been claimed. So we see this massive drop in player prices. And that's just when it comes to packs. EA will still release challenges as part of objectives and also with SBCs, which will give additional ways in which you can use those players, but it's not enough. This is the time of year where the SBCs that do get released, even though normally when a challenge has been released, there's demand for the players that are required, it's not enough. There are way too many packs being open. People open them with coins, people open them with FC points, and it just forces player prices down with there being nothing to stop them. This ultimately means that by the time we do get to Black Friday, there will be a crash. There will be a decrease in the value of the transfer market, especially with some of those top rated expensive players who will lose a good 5, 10, 15, potentially 20% of their overall price. But it doesn't just stop there, because most people have experienced this Black Friday promo before and people know what to expect, especially with the case of this video being recorded, as well as so many other creators doing the exact same thing, that now, instead of it just being the crash by the time we roll round to Black Friday content, people start preparing, and they have been preparing for the last week or two. Everyone knows when Black Friday is going to take place, because it's not just a promo within Ultimate Team, this is something that happens all over the world. Every business takes part of Black Friday. But bringing it back down to Ultimate Team, people know it's going to happen, so before it happens, they decide to sell their team, their most expensive players as part of their club. And when you have loads of people doing this with the Mbappes, the Messis, the Ronaldos, the Haalands, all of these players gradually start going down in value yet again because there's more people selling these players than there are buying them. So what ends up happening is that we have this pre-crash, this crash where player prices start to go down with there being really no reason. It's not like content's being released and everyone's gone crazy for it that people started opening packs. It's now people preparing because they know a crash is about to happen and they do not want to lose potentially 20% of the value of their club or the players within their team, that they start to think, hey, I could sell my team right now, claim as many coins as possible, and then for it to go down in value by about 20%, and I can buy those players back, put them back into my club, and then have coins left over for me to go through and trade, maybe potentially buy some better and improved players, which improves my team overall. Or maybe just have those coins laying about so that I can invest, do whatever it is that I want to go and do. It really becomes a big moment, and now we're not just in a position where the market crashes on Black Friday once EA releases promos and all of these lightning rounds, but it now happens weeks before. It's just in combination with both of these, with player prices dropping as people sell them off, we still see a decline also with the promo. So it's a double hit. We do also see a slight increase after the event happens, because that of course is when people are buying back their players. But it's not long lived, because then we get into December and that's when people start to prepare for Team of the Year, which is going to happen at the end of January. It should be said that not every single player will go down in value. Some other type of content that EA releases is that they do re-release some of the more popular Team of the Weeks as well as promos. These are going to be the best of the best, the top tier players. Now, with every single promo that has been released so far, EA takes the exact same routine. They're in packs for a week and then they're taken away. When they're taken away, there is no source for them. So as time goes on, they become rarer on the market and then can gradually increase. Except when these types of promos happen, which then also brings back a source for them, meaning that we could also see a decrease in these players as well. Except with these, when they re-release this content, they don't re-release some of the worst Team of the Weeks. We're talking those which were selling for 10, 15, 20,000 coins when they were first in packs. We're talking about those who were worth hundreds of thousands of coins, potentially 90 rated plus, some of the best named players in Ultimate Team and in world football. Because those are the most desirable players, and at this point EA wants people to buy into FC points in hopes that they can get someone good. And they increase people buying into FC points by only releasing those who are good. So that leaves a slight gap in the market where there are players. If you did do what I did at the beginning of Ultimate Team, I did sell off a few players a few weeks ago, but I'm back buying new Team of the Weeks, that these low rated Team of the Week players who go for 10, 15, 20,000 coins, potentially a max rating of 83, potentially pushing to an 84, these players are unlikely to be reused within packs. So there becomes no source for them, and yet again, because there's no source for them, they do gradually become rarer on the transfer market. And going on to that previous point, if there are any SBCs that do get released which require you to have these types of players, then you could see a slight increase in these types of cards. Worst case scenario, we do not see an increase for these types of players, but what will happen as time goes on, they will increase, because they always do. They always have. It's already happened this year, and I've been able to make a very good amount of coins out of this method without really doing anything, just putting it as part of my weekly routine of buying into Team of the Week players. The final thing that is worth doing with Black Friday is certainly trading. We've already covered it, but many people are going to be buying FC points. There's going to be a lot of content available, loads of people opening packs. They end up just throwing players onto the transfer market, sometimes just to recoup some coins, and they do this by listing them below market value. So it becomes very easy for you to find some good cheap trades. So if you're not someone that can buy into FC points, you don't have the money, and you don't already have a club value for you to buy into and test your luck with some packs, what you can do is just use the coins that you do have to trade. And you don't need to do anything too fancy here. Because of the conditions, you can put up a simple sniping filter where you will be able to get players listed thousands of coins below their lowest buy now. And you can also use a bulk bidding filter where you focus on specific players, mass bid, and all of these players will expire within just a few minutes after you max out your watch list of 50 players. And not just that, but they're also going to have a pretty decent margin in that you can immediately list them onto the transfer market, yet again potentially making 1,000 coins per player. And that's no exaggeration. Normally with a bulk bidding method for most of the year, you can make a couple hundred coins depending on who you're looking at. But it's not unheard of during Black Friday for you to focus on players which are valued thousands of coins, and you take thousands of coins away to set that as your max bid price, and for you to bid on as many of those as possible. You will win trades. We did it last year and we did it the year before, which have been documented within videos on this channel. It just comes down to there being so much attention thrown on packs and going through those that there's less people looking to bid on players onto the transfer market. But at the exact same time, because of all of those which are focusing on packs, there becomes an increase on players listed onto the transfer market. At that point, for those who are trying to trade, there ends up being way more deals than there are people trading, making it very hard for you to find every single great deal. So some actually go through, get missed completely, expire with there being no bids on them, despite being able to make a very good amount of profit on that type of player if anyone was to go and see them. That's how ridiculous the transfer market gets. But anyway, this is absolutely everything that you need to know about Black Friday. Let me know your strategy in the comment section down below. Are you going to be selling your team to buy it back? Are you going to be going through as many different packs as possible with FC points that you bought into? Are you going to be investing in any players, or are you going to be planning to spend the whole promo trading? Let me know in the comment section down below. But anyway, thanks for watching.